opportunity. I think the story of Kwame Nkrumah, I mean, any student of history will agree. Say the story of Kwame Nkrumah, you can multiple times. But I think that there's one gentleman for me as a student of history. The place in a political dispensation is a conversation. And that man is General I.K Acheampong.
Okay.
I got to know the man about 3 years ago. CEO of Akufo-Addo was a book was a paper
Yeah.
Bear 3 days and I'm sanko for a book. My kind of bear 4 time book with Nkrumah.
Wow.
General Acheampong, the life and times of Ghana's head of state.
Wow.
Professor Akufo-Addo, CEO of Akufo Foundation, UN governance expert. And 2015 May, and General I.K Acheampong ba approach you. No, your work be did say. Or Phyllis and Papa Nema Ghana, and I say, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll try to share some of the things of Acheampong. Last week, me Acheampong Kakrano. Dr. Etienne, the banking consultant, friend, me say, hey, now Krana will care Acheampong as I'm saying, when baby there be. It's courtesy such books and the articles are marking kind about the life of General I.K Acheampong. Intene mi bedi I.K Acheampong General and one dance here. Many Ghana for beche niema waye. And why me de we Kwame Nkrumah in my view. When you take Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who have described as peerless, Onisesuo. When you take Nkrumah out, for me, Ghana's next best president is General I.K Acheampong. That is my submission.
Wow.
And I think that we need to tell the story of General Acheampong. I will take you on a certain historical journey of I.K Acheampong.
Okay.
Starting at 7.
Okay.
Yes, so that's the story I'm going to tell.
Yeah.
General I.K Acheampong. So this is the book I'm referencing. Yeah, 1931. Yeah,
Okay.
So he's a shanty. Now, what did this man do for the country? Now, me no Kwajamos and never be bro MPP. Yeah, it is ideas of Acheampong.
The vision and all.
The vision of one.
Okay.
You can clearly see that there are key things that Papa Akufo-Addo. There are key things that President Akufo-Addo. You can see that the Acheampong Obronibeka initiated those visions.
Okay.
You see, the reason why I want celebrate Acheampong is
okay.
In 72, Acheampong never too busy abangu.
Yeah.
The Progress Party.
Yeah.
And its precursor, Nyabebachia's successive year is the MPP today. New Baby Acheampong who free wa Okunu together with 6 other people. It's the ARFC, which has become the NDC. It will find itself in a place that MPP Bona Baswa. Because one will be too busy. And this is one about so that is what I call historical quagmire. Baby Wujinano, Obona Baswa, the 2 dominant parties into me in Cass and Pepper be in front of him, unless you read it for yourself.
Reference
yes.
Okay.
Now I'll pick sector by sector and I'll give you documented evidence.
Okay.
I'll give you verifiable evidence. My cousin share from the they are intellectuals, professors near DATA, you need to be careful. Me can match baby me whom me source ne free. One, Acheampong started baby of friend Operation Feed Yourself. What was the aim of Operation Feed Yourself? What's your Acheampong rule now? It was largely based on 3 anchors. Yemfa ya Ghana nema emo ye ho bra. 2, you achieve self-sufficiency.
Okay.
Right? The national patriotism. That was the 3 key anchors of the Acheampong government.
Yeah.
Now, feed yourself. No, the buy. No, I'm fine. No, come on. Operation feed yourself. Do be any. Or something be be friend. Operation feed your industries.
Feed your
industries. Or better, Osana at Nkrumah any the past governors. Colonial masters say jaw.
Yeah.
Or ye fool any idea. Na day. Na a feed industries.
Okay.
Okay. One of the things I'm talking about 1D1F. Ne say. Also then the dividend of those factories.
Yeah.
When you check the data, self-sufficiency, trade surplus. Yes, I call this trade surplus, but trade surplus is traditional, a cocoa, a bauxite, a manganese, a timber, a more dear way, tomatoes to dear way, near 1D1F in the Mancasano, and a planting for food and jobs on a wing.
Yeah.
But for Acheampong, we saw the dividend. If you are in one fence, well, who say the northern region, my catch was the northern region alone. The landmass, as was in the entire Netherlands.
Oh, yeah.
But Netherlands is part of the top 5 food producing countries in the world.
Yeah.
What I say?
Yeah.
Today, no, yeah, who said they have Obronibeka, one raining system. To create irrigation dams. And on the MPP so by one village, what?
One dam.
One dam. In fact, this idea by Acheampong was also replicated in Burkina Faso. Who we did the history of Thomas Sankara. Almost the kind of one gorge, one village.
Okay.
One gorge, one village. It means that one dam, one village. And that was how a certain Thomas Sankara, young man, less than 40, transformed Upper Volta, which was a desert, into Burkina Faso and Ghana. I want you to cry Jenny and Ghana. I want you to cry tomatoes free.
Yeah.
That was how it was done. It was irrigation. Acheampong created tunnel irrigation system, and I call Kwahano memo bia evidence. No.
Yeah.
1975. And we start your Kasana and Kana district, our upper east region.
Yeah.
So that time now upper region, no munina boom. And this is the picture of the tunnel irrigation system in Upper East. We may free SIGA, State Interest and Governance and Accountability. Baby, almost site. Free. And who really decide to say the tunnel dam is one of the largest agricultural dams in West Africa.
Wow.
And serves as a place for year-round farming. About 2,490 hectares of land is irrigated with water from the 2.5-mile long dam, which serves 7 villages in the Kansanan and Kana district. The dam was built in the late 70s and early 80s by company Nebulian. Acheampong initiated the tunnel dam.
So one dam,
seven villages and the entire Upper East region.
Wow.
Meaning that all year-round farming. And then you see one village, one dam. No. So you know why America said when you pick policies of the MPP, even Papa Akufo, and I'll go through the data with you, you can clearly see that they
are in line with
with what Acheampong did. Now, I open our irrigation project. Because doing irrigation system.
Okay.
I think it was the 11th of April 1975. Now Friday, and a complete is at Dorena. When we said Dorena, it's known for rice farming. Known for rice farming. Ghana achieved rice self-sufficiency under Acheampong. It wasn't by fluke. It was by great policies of General Acheampong. Mamen kan ade mam. Oko Dowenya omo site one ma o say the Dowenya irrigation system is located in Dowenya in the Ningo Prom district of the Greater Accra region. One will have to use blah blah blah. The scheme covers an area of 980 hectares and is bounded to the north by this blah blah blah. Now hana me peno. Manfa no anka ho. You can clearly see that. Yes, so this is it. At the point, the Dowenya irrigation dam was the West Africa's largest greenhouse, and none abide be come the big greenhouse gas. This irrigation project did do Emma Ghana self-sufficiency or Mosaic or Kram from Akufo-Addo. It was I.K Acheampong. So my catch was everything I say about Acheampong, I'll give you the source of it. Now, because we when you let's look at something. Akumadan, I see tomato. No. The irrigation project anom the US in Toos, 1974. Na ye Acheampong. Owie no Bujanga irrigation system. Ono no ye. Kumasi Tanoso irrigation system. Acheampong na ye. Bankesim irrigation system. Acheampong na ye. Ochireko irrigation system. Acheampong na ye. Amate and Dedeso irrigation systems. Acheampong na ye. Kwando teko toko irrigation system. Acheampong na ye. So or say factories. Or say operation feed the factories of raw materials. Operation feed yourself and I am largely backyard farm. No? Or science state farms. This irrigation project was the backbone of it.
And these big ones, even within 2-year period, from 1974 to 1976, 2 years.
So it was a clear, deliberate plan.
So
now, the dividend of the policy.
And for
Acheampong bano. Obetu buzi about 72. No.
Okay.
Now Ghana, near trade deficit around $56 million in 1971.
Okay.
As at the time of 1973. Na Ghana near trade surplus of 204 million. You cut trade deficit then it's here. Say, Niama wo koton. You order kwa drama so koton. Near what the Bowman, free man. Oboka which negative. But when you're positive, say, what the Ketwa be neighbor, and I would be break. Oba no turning from a negative of $56 million to a positive of $204 million by 2 years.
Wow.
So it was deliberate. And you know what has happened in 73? I can win a champion by I am popular from 76. There was a war. The Nkrumah war, if I remember quickly, was in 1973. It was between Israel and Arab. And one year, the OPEC, the Organization of Petrol, something. Almost prices of petrol. Any idea? That affected the champion government. Later, I will explain why I make us. But even within that time, Anna Israel and the Arab economy, there was a trade surplus of 204 million. This is by the Ghana Statistical Service data. This is not me. And the OSHA, 1974, Ghana had bumper fish harvest for 2 years, 74 to 75. And the OSHA, Yebenya Food Sufficiency and Makana, it became a net exporter of rice. 1973 to 1974, Akufo-Addo Ghana imported close to $1 billion every year. Vietnam, Turkey, any other, most of these Asian countries. A champion time in your rice sufficiency. Near the more original, no biggest trade receiver. Near Burkina Faso, near the money tomato alcohol. And then I've done it because the dams have dried. We've not built enough. The 1D, 1F, no, or the one village run dam, Busasa Sanya. Have you been proactive about it? Have you been proactive about it? So, a champion's great plan was a deliberate policy. It wasn't a fluke Ghana achieving winner. And I'm saying that the source is the Ghana Statistical Service. Irrigation Dam Development Authority, 1977. It was a champion. Need to obtain because they established dams. No, the authority. What I say? So the authority was supposed to manage the dams. And to share. I picked this article from a research. OSHA dams be brand out of 40, almost about 20 of them was done by a champion. And when they were creating the bill now make 1970, compile dams and all Ghana no. Man can't just say na we can Ocheko, no Ocheko can Tanoso eka ho, Oma Dowenya neka ho, Akumada neka ho. All these majority of them was done by a champion. A champion told us that we cannot do agric without irrigation. We cannot do agric without dams. And that was a champion. Again, this is my source of the information. Now, another thing a champion good. And for me, I think that the gentleman needs to be celebrated. My second, industrialization. Now, champion, all kind of speeches, I never can say. Ghanaians must take commanding height of the Ghanaian economy. As a Ghana for the Ghana economy name. And then I your porter, MPS. Your miner, foreigners. Baby, almost every critical sectors of the Ghana's economy. Foreigners. Let Champo can be say, Yen she. Sadena and Brunini in Sikabeko. But who Ghana and no be a Jumana. Tikana beka krunim owukura na japade no ebeka krunim eno na ma aboache matress bae okay aboache matress most of Ghana's top industrialists entrepreneurs they came at the time of a champion not because a champion was obia or a magnet but his policies served as the magnet support financial support or creating that enabling business atmosphere for them to thrive now Osha Eduardo Sebo mattress and a bar and an MPP national organizer. Right. Tata none mattress, now the core even West African and other African countries got tongue. Yebenya Benjamin B. Mensa, Oka International Tobacco Company Limited. No more king size cigarette, near Ghana. Okaya, JK, on a Tata Brewery. At a point, not Ghana, near BIN, it was made by Ghana. Now, Osanya solved me a friend Martis, and the other West African countries got tongue. So meaning that we will get what foreign dividend coming into our country.
It's a Ghanaian.
It's a Ghanaian. Yebenya someone Christian apinting. Pambro salt. Tama osati 60 die ba na yegu. A champion ne be hye mukena. Na dwuma ni gina no tibi bia na dwuma me hu woda because me Akufo-Addo na matena. Ofu Akufo-Addo adjust kwa koduma if we be intravenous infusion. A champion ne ko bie sa ade na August 1974. E someone Christian apinting ne bie. Ano mo ye dress. Most hospital dress from the suits. You so near the suits no. Intravenous infusion Akufo-Addo and a champion ko bie sa adwuma 1974.
Wow.
Yes.
And then they crack rabbi.
Yes, and then you Makofi Our bay assembling plant a Mazda cars.
Wow.
Now we in the Ghana and him say. Ebio Kous Motors. On one year window of you go for. A doom will be a champion, no pemasum. No person so much say into a boom of businesses. Aha, and a far to budget go for the free. Because a champion was one leader who believed in women empowerment.
Yeah.
And also a mass and the boom. Now in Ghana, every leader has a flow.
Yeah.
Every leader has a flow. If I to budget go for no coffee usu assembly planter. A tempo ko send a chibua no more Kous Motors and another assembly distributed video of you cars in Ghana. Ebio new plan. I had TME.
So the car assembling is not a new thing.
It's not a new thing.
Okay.
So and now Martin at the car assembly, but it started way before a champion at the buy.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that when you pick most MPP policies, you trace it to a champion.
Yeah.
And I have two things now be tracing. And then I car assembly plants at the boy was of saying at the buy. New plan was assembling cars in 1974.
Wow.
And it was a joint venture between the government of Ghana and Gotlick any other company, any produce buses for public transport in Ghana. It's now a bus, a public transport Ghana, near Ghana. A true sign initiative when I can University and I'm here collaborating now for car. Okay, and then Adom car, a true the new plan bus manufacturing system. A bill President Akufo started a Metro Mass Transit 2003. The first 300 to 400 buses are started in a new plan. So you can even say that the bedrock of Kofo's Metro Mass Transit, Anabas, if you Kofo, Hamile, Accra, Ekotumu, any idea. It was based on the plan of the new plan, which was established by Champo in 1974. So my two policies. The MPP's car assembling plan, beautiful policy. But that initiative, the first leader who saw that vision was a Champo, because he empowered Kofi Kous to do that. He empowered Kofi. Makofi to do that. And look at Omudino from diverse background. J.K. Sian, no Ekoni. Apinti, or ya Benyesika, even at a point. OCC schools in Yade. Wow. So it tells you that they contributed to Ghana's economy significantly. In fact, the current police hospital in Accra and an Abuachiba Power Hospital. Okay. It was confiscated when the PNDC came, and later it was turned into the police hospital. And Abuachima Hospital, the current police hospital we have in Accra. Wow. Yes. So these were entrepreneurs who came to blossom and their champion. And it wasn't a fluke, it was deliberate measures. Anybody can article who's in the message. When you read about how Pambro salt from the 60s, one of the biggest salt producing companies in Ghana and even the West African shores, to tell how deliberate the leader is. You see, for a leader to grow an economy, there need to be deliberateness. It's in America, is all the $200 million square 1D, 1F. Now they have $1 billion. It's not a deliberate measure. The champion showed us that deliberateness for us to do that. So new plan was him. Wow. Assembly plan was him. Ghanaian businesses thrive under a champion. And take every major sectors of our economy. In fact, on industrialization, it was under a champion. You can read about Tema Oil Refinery. Ghana being the majority stake. And old Tema Oil Refinery wholly. Mekan holia Ghana be fat Tema Oil Refinery because a percent in the median, a percent in the median was under a champion. In fact, it was under a champion. Timber companies. Timber companies. Any mining companies in Ghana, no, we attain majority stake in them. Wow. And the 51% are on TSA. That was a champion. And then lithium be 10 20 be an bushing baby. We took, in fact, Osha Tema Oil Refinery. I think it's the Schmex industry plant. Able to some payment so a champion. And you can read about Tema Oil Refinery. Right. Because I'll give you the source. 2021. Then no be play national chairman or resign. Seven Asamoah, the current chief taxi minister. Or new plan. Transamo can show the history of new planner. Show the history of new planner. I want him say, and he told clearly who constructed the new plan facility. Oh, and also Francis Afan Mama. But I can clearly so can sign his speech now on October 6, 2021. You can see he giving credit to new plan to a champion. So it is not in doubt. And this is the state interest and accountability report of the government of Ghana. Wow. So it clearly tells you that it is not in doubt what a champion did for our country. And you enter public housing. And then Ghana, your housing deficit It millions. Internet landlords me bought a board and send you pay, and the government cannot speak because Sagle me yenye. You can say by STS yenye. Akufo-Addo so do the buy a poco as omu yebu yenye. Acheampong built Dansoman Estate. Cote d'Ivoire. Coco de Rock. Meaning more for this guy will tell to accord. At a point, it was the largest estate until the Coco de Rock estate in Cote d'Ivoire. That is the Dansoman Estate. Tesudumba Estate. Bokrum Estate. Bokrum Estate Kumase. Acheampong. Joluhausen. Non-Fenis Legonhausen. Oko. Kepkusene Fiokuma Oyebi or Miami Chrome Koforia, low cost houses, Okwa, from Adesu to Akodum, Ubehum at Dino, Acheampong, say a young for Benya baby atana. So he brought housing to the people. Okwa upper region, 1-2 president, I mean, developing north for Mammy Pan, Acheampong, Rollins. Okwa, Okreative be upper international. These were homes. Low cost homes in Bogatanga and many of the other districts in the upper region, then now upper east and upper west. These were the works of Acheampong. And then the Fourth Republic. Housing project Pempani, Aya, Kokwa, Abba Fruition. And then Akufo-Addo obey Yetiminto. When you best hear, you know, you was a common point here. You best hear, you say, what the Kosi with your grandke.
A book right the better.
And on my moto. And then the bet me at to State House and dine. And here, the teacher need Ben, the better castle to State House and dine.
And so, yes,
but low cost houses and the blueprints are there. Yeah. Most of the things that Acheampong did, it was based on the Boateng Commission report in 1961. You're abundant of researchers.
Okay.
And the leverage on them. You see, okay, Acheampong, Chama no ko military school, no ko US. Then Otitrema, who the wheat fields now. It did something to his mind. And just be able to feed yourself. So sometimes I imagine say leaders, you know, when they travel, the experiences, why don't they want to replicate this?
Now say
why don't they want to replicate this? Acheampong, Mama Housing, energy. Go to the satellite station, you know. And the best space center. Acheampong,
wonderful.
Pond down. You see a Kosomovian, you see a steel factories. You be here, damn the bay. Pond down, Acheampong,
or the Biber count.
In fact, spillage in here, no, and you pond down the jeans when you crack. Kebesini, you know.
Wow.
It is Acheampong. Over health, a month of Brenham. Credit to President Akufo-Addo. Bekwa 120 bear near yen, and then people near this year. It was started by Acheampong.
Wow.
Now President Akufo-Addo ever complete here. Mother to baby unit to be a boo 750 maternity block. Acheampong started. Or started in 76.
Wow.
O free son Obianye and then a yabu yes fufu. Tamale Teaching Hospital. Acheampong be February 24, 1974. Wow. And then the biggest tertiary facility in the entire northern region. It was Acheampong. Oko Ministry of Health website. When the hospital was established. Or say the hospital was established in 1974 and was formerly known as the Tamale Regional Hospital.
Wow.
Today, the biggest teaching, and that's the biggest, it's the only teaching hospital in the entire 5 northern regions. Formerly 3 northern regions was done by Acheampong in 1974. Wow. So every sector they felt the leadership of Acheampong. Young education. Among for Brenham, we are national service in allowance about Acheampong. When you read the book, I have a confusion. Say OSHA Act, I think Act 248, if I'm not too mistaken, or 4 OSHA Act now, in 1980. No, there was a decree. The decree there, OSHA, the decree by the NRC, the National Redemption Council Decree 208, that established the National Service of Ghana. So at Ghana was just 3 universities, Cape Coast, Kumasi, University, any University of Ghana. Say, young for you from use 2 years. So national service and start here now 2 years mandatory national service, including a minimum of 6 months military training.
Okay.
Then to our yes, or say the scheme was established as a formal institute to provide structured service rules and direction of the country's young graduates from our tertiary institutions of learning.
Okay.
At the time, the country economy experienced steady deterioration and stagnation. Into national service now, a bit be when you who direction be a sawoko.
Yeah.
It was Acheampong, not the man.
Wow.
The one who brought national service to our country was Acheampong. And OSHA Act now, this is the OSHA Act number 10 and Act 13 now. The decree that started the NRCD decree 208 was by Acheampong.
Wow.
The JSS system I know. The double committee report, a Kwapong committee, AAB. Ghana, the almost every government be a educational committee. I think Nkrumah they never the Kwapong review. Obey double you are adopting the current JHS system I run. Somehow it was a champon.
To review no harder that.
It was a champon. A champon, Sandema Senior High School on way.
Okay.
If you could be Ampim Senior High School, no establish your traboom.
Wonderful.
Until 2 4 to a baby adopt ye. Our best friend if you could be senior high school. So, these are things I can readily give evidence to because I know I am a research.
Wow.
So I don't want to go to areas to me verifiable evidence to support it. Oba sports Kaneshi Sports Complex. I am a friend of Zuma Sports Complex. A champion a year. A champion time DK Poison Unajo World Trophies. To start the champion. Okay, so ko GK poison sika ko to mackerel ko na ganye this can to mackerel just a champion ebio floodlight so ti yetimi bobo enumre e wo Ghana the first president of the floodlight to introduce floodlight to the country was a champion Accra Kumasi Sports Stadium.
Wow.
Ebio otitima unse Nkrumah beti academicals champion so titima ye benya notable player obi se Kuntu Blanks no free champion team omote from the Ghana Armed Forces. O share the other things or yeah nifa
yeah,
it was a champion. Even say your road safety, the Max Fakwem, the president who brought that initiative to this country was a champion. Ebio Mekato was a teamer companies, 100% and 51%. Mr. Clisters, Africa, African Timber and Plywood, Takrade Veneer Lumber Company. All these companies were owned by Ghanaian companies, and the sanity now. Ebio Wager Water Works 1978 NOA to provide water for the people of Accra.
Okay.
Ya tremana. And yes, since you come there, you show my pipe. Have you done it? So all these things were done by a champion. He and 6 other people were shot and killed. For me, about say Kuno, the proprietriness of that, he had his own issues. The Unigov government, and it was a bad strategy. If you got propaganda, it works. That's why we say that perception is key in our politics. And see, for me, I think that these were things and I'm saying I'm not chair about the works of a champion. For me, as a student of history, undoubtedly, I think that when you take Nkrumah out, Ghana's finest leader, post Nkrumah, is General I.K Acheampong, and is Ghana's best head of state ever.
I really
agree
with you.
The entire governance structure.
Yeah.
But he was a head of state. He's my best head of state. But the entire presidency, I think after Nkrumah, he is the man we need to really celebrate. But unfortunately, because of history, baby, a place in that is why I decided to do this exercise today.